VanCam. This is VanCam you waited for.
Steve! 3-2, come on! Talk about the match!
Shut up, you dick!
You don't want to talk about, you bitter bastard! And I guess that's why they call it the Blues. Chris Smalling scored and Paul Pogba scored too. How are you doing, everybody? I am an excited Kev Ashford, and this is the not world famous. Oh! Move that shit to the side and let's get straight into it. Yes, last week was the Manchester Derby. The Manchester Derby where Manchester City thought they just turned up, won the league, and they could just shit all over us and sing and just basically degrade us. But Man United had different ideas. And I tell you something, at half time, I was doing some pacing round the living room. The cat ran upstairs in fear, slept under the bed. The dog went into the basket because they know, they can sense that shit. At 2-0 down, we should have been 4 or 5-0. God knows how it wasn't. Well, Raheem Sterling for starters, he's shit. 2 glorious chances and just skied him over the bar. Ask me if I'm arsed. I'm not. And if ever there was that saying, football is a game of 2 halves, and that certainly was, because at half time I'm sure there were City fans up and down and around, you know, the Hazel Grove area that were definitely ordering champagne, probably in pubs, you know, like I say, in Hazel Grove or whatever. They'd have been there, the bird in hand, you know, Frank, get the champers out. It's on hold, it's on ice. We know Man City will win it. But what I liked in that second half was the fact that United, like I said last week, were playing for pride. That's all we got to play for, and second place. City fans can take the piss. They're going, oh, you beat little Man City and all, you know, and all that. You try to talk about City to them. You're obsessed, Stu. No, I'm not, dickhead. Listen, if you would have won that match, you would have rubbed it in our noses, and we knew exactly what was happening. And for United to respond like that, Paul Pogba to respond to all the criticism and all the shit, even Mike Smalling getting on the score sheet. I mean, at half-time, them two were definitely primed up for cockstroker of the week this week. They would have made it in, and it would have been Pogba for having blue and white hair. What the fuck is all that about, man? And for Mike, or Chris Smalling, basically for letting the most dangerous aerial threat in Vincent Kompany just run off him and score a free header. But, like I said, the lads must have got in there at half-time, must have seen the VanCam team talk from last week and thought, do you know what, we need to do it. Do it for the boys. And they did it, not just for the fans, but for themselves. Have a bit of pride and respect. We got the result, and like I say, great save from De Gea in the second half. It could have easily ended 3-3, but we hung on. We didn't park the bus, and at the stage just before half-time, this is when I was trying to hunt out the cat and dog. I thought somebody is getting a boot across the room here. Couldn't find him. They were olaying passes. It was horrible. It was, ole! They were taking the piss. They were singing Champions. They were singing Mourinho, you know, part the bus, Man United. They were singing, you're fucking shit, you're fucking shit, you're fucking shit. When it spun round to 3-2, it was party time for the United fans in the away section. They were, you know, sarcastically singing, we're fucking shit, and Mourinho part the bus and all that. Great crap for the fans in the away end. A great day out for them. Like I say, if anything, this gives us now a springboard for the rest of the season. Hopefully we can win the FA Cup. If we don't, we just make sure we finish second. And if anything, we put down a marker. We will strengthen in the summer next season. We should be there or thereabouts. There is no excuses for me next season. The honeymoon period with Mourinho is definitely over. Next season, there isn't any excuses. There can't be a gap. You know, the way the gap is at the minute, it cannot happen next season. Right, I best tell you what is going on this week on the old... Yeah, you get the gist of it, VanCam. Anyway, first of all, we're going to fly into the big VanCam debate. There is no sitting on the fence. VanCam wouldn't be complete without taking a delving into the weird and wonderful life of a man with bushy hair who's absolutely gash at football. His name's Fellaini, and we call it Fellaini Watch. Liverpool! I've got a top 5 this week. We'll do cockstroker of the week. Suck my nuts, because Man United turned up for the second half. And we'll end with your comments. Before I actually fly into the big VanCam debate, I was going to do a little section called United in News or something, but United have been in the news this week. First story was about Marcus Rashford. Now, Marcus Rashford, I'm driving along and I hear on TalkSport, Marcus Rashford wants to leave Manchester United. They said he was upset he didn't play in the derby, you know, he's disillusioned with life under Jose. He wants to go somewhere where he's going to start. He feels he's good enough at the age of 20. Now, when I actually got pulled over, I thought, I need to see these quotes. I thought, this is quite big news for United. You know, a 20-year-old Mancunian who's got United in his heart has actually come out and said that he wants to leave Man United. It was the Daily Mirror that ran this so-called world exclusive. Now, like I said, I pulled over, I thought, I need to look for some quotes. I cannot believe for 1 minute that Rashford would come out and spout this kind of shit. And lo and behold, we know what fake news is about. We know that Man United sell newspapers. So, when I delved in to try and find these quotes, this was the quote. And believe it or not, yeah, it says, a United source said. And that could be anyone. That you could just make that up. You could make up, you know, Jurgen Klopp. What could we say? I don't know. Klopp's horseplay. Yeah, I'm the writer now. I write Klopp's horseplay, and then I say Jurgen Klopp once sucked off a horse, and I'll just say a source close to the German said he was walking through a field and, you know, did the business. The horse was, you know, really happy about it. It was aroused, and Jurgen Klopp did whatever he had to do. You get what I'm going on about. I know I'm talking shit, but it says a United source said Marcus was really unhappy with being left out for the derby, and that was it. And they're running this shit. A so-called, you know, reputable media outlet in the Daily Mirror. Are they? Oh, God's sake. Other news, and like I said, there's not a chance Marcus Rashford would even be. They keep saying when he signs Zlatan, you know, he wanted to leave. Now that we signed Sanchez, that lad is 20 years old. He's come up through the youth rank, and he will be absolutely buzzing his tits off. United are signing top quality players like that, and he gets to train with them every day and learn from them. If anything, I think Rashford has been taken out a bit of the firing line. Yeah, he was great against Liverpool, but sometimes when he does start games, he gets a bit lost. He's great as an impact player. He's got a lot to learn, and he's at the right club to do it. In other news, Man United are looking at expanding Old Trafford. Now, this has been talked about loads. Obviously, it's the south stand. It's the oldest stand. Everywhere else has been redeveloped. There's problems because on that side, you've got the railway line. There's houses on the other side. But Man United have come out and said that maybe if they do redevelop it to try and get it up to nearly 90,000, they might have to rehouse United. And believe it or not, the papers have actually mentioned the Etihad, Ellen Road, and he's having the crack. I should have put him in cockstroker of the week. Imagine playing our home games at the Etihad. I mean, at least it'd be full. It would when we played. Not a chance I'd be sitting my ass on a blue seat. That ain't happening. I'm sure there'll be some way they can redevelop. When they did the North Stand, they were able to close that off. And yeah, the capacity will drop, but I'm sure in today's modern world of construction and stuff, they will be able to sort it out. But exciting times ahead. I mean, if Old Trafford does get redeveloped that side and up to nearly 90,000, more people in there, more noise? No, probably not. More shower bastards eating prawn sandwiches and talking shit about work when they should be watching the match. And get that half an hour scarf off from round your neck, sunshine, or I'll strangle you with it. Anyway, let's get straight into the show. I think, what would we do? It's like the Crystal Maze, isn't it? What do I want to do with a physical? I tell you what we're going to do. We'll do a big VanCam debate and we'll get kicked straight into that.
The Big VanCam Debate!
Okay, so last week we did the big VanCam debate like we do pretty much every week now. And last week I asked the question, would you sell Ander Herrera? Now, this was due to speculation that Ander Herrera could be looking Jose Mourinho might be looking to sell him. Now, after that performance against Man City, and that was everything that I said last week. I said he's tenacious. When his head's on it, he plays brilliant in a free with Matic and Pogba, and it frees Pogba up to do his shit, which he certainly did against Manchester City. The voting, it was a simple yes or a no. 85% of the vote went in favour of no! Do not sell him! Are you mad? So everybody more or less agreed with me. I'm not really sure what the other percentage of people were thinking, but that's what makes football interesting. Everybody has an opinion. And this week is no different. We're going to set a question. It's a simple yes or a no. There is no sitting on the fence. Because up there, it's awful cold. And you might sway left or right, and if you fall off, chances are you're going to do yourself some damage. So be on one side yes, or the other side no. This week's question basically is based on Manchester United. Have Manchester United under Jose Mourinho this year, this season, oh yeah, have they progressed? Now think back to last season, progression, you know, we're thinking we got the EFL Cup, we got the Europa League. You know, nothing, we might win the FA Cup, but even if we don't, have United progressed if they finish in second place? I think it's a yes. Anybody that says, well, we won the Europa League last season, we're not in it this season because we're in the Champions League. That's progression. We're going to be in the Champions League next season. This year, I would say that I'm a bit disappointed that we really didn't push City further. I think we've proved we are a decent team on our day, but consistency is the key. City have been in a league of their own, but at this stage, this season, the same as last season, we have more points, scored more goals, conceded less. So that is progression for me. I just think that City have been absolutely unbelievable. Do you think, this is the question for this week, Manchester United this season have progressed? It's a yes or a no. And I'll read out the result of the poll next week.
The Big VanCam Debate.
That was the Big VanCam Debate. We do that every week, only takes up a minute or so. We run the poll, so make sure you get involved, because up here there'll be a little dot with an eye in it. Click on it, it drops down the poll, you cast your vote. Everyone's happy in it, just get it done. And like I said, this week's debate was on, have Manchester United progressed under Jose Mourinho this season? I'd give you my thoughts personally. I think it is progression, and like I say, take City out of the equation. United have had a good season, but unfortunately we can't do that. The noisy neighbours will march on and win the league. There you go. It's great, innit? Bring the tone down, but let's bring it straight back up. Let's not stay down there for too long, unless you're Monica Lewinsky or whatever. Does that even work? God, that is awful. Right, there is a man. He's got bushy hair. He's called Fellaini. It's time to do Fellaini Watch. Some say that his breath actually smells of proper dog shit, and that back in 1999 he snorted MDMA off another man's chest. All that we know is he's called Fellaini.
McTominay has it.
Great bowling. Go on, Fellaini! Oh! Bushy tit!
I'm like a grizzly bear, I've got the hair, I throw them elbows, I don't care. This is the not world famous Fellaini Watch. This is a part of the show where we look at the weird and wonderful life of a man with bushy hair who's absolutely dog shit at football. Now, he's always in the news for various reasons, one of them being that he's shit at football. But with the contract ticking down, tick tock, is that the right way? It's that way, innit? Whatever, who gives a shit, man? Anyway, Fellaini is being linked with a whole host of clubs. We've had Monaco, we've had PS Bastard G in Paris. Yeah, Paris Saint-Germain. We've had them as well, but this could top it all. And no, it's not Barcelona. It's not Real Madrid. My friends, the Express had the exclusive. Here it is. Manchester United news. Liverpool plan to offer Marouane Fellaini a 3-year contract. I am not having this one. Liverpool, yeah. We sold Coutinho. Who can we replace him with? Some twat who can't play football. He's played for two of our fiercest rivals. He played for Everton. They hated him then. He played for United now. They hate him anyway. Is this a nothing story? Or has Jurgen Klopp been on the Jaeger bombs? Oh, nice. Oh, I just can't get my head around it, man. There will be more fun and games with Fellaini, but Liverpool, I swear to God, that would be some crack. Maybe it's the hair. It's a Scouse thing. You know, if he grew a tash, put a shell suit on and started running around the streets of Merseyside, he would fit in a treat, dipping in them bins. Ooh, a rat. All right, calm down. You know what I'm talking about. That's Fellaini Watch, and it'll be back next week where there'll be another weird and beautiful story about the man who can't play football, makes a shitload of money, and has got a bushy head of hair. Woo! That was Fellaini Watch. Liverpool. Killing me, man. Killing me. Anyway, get commenting as always. Drop a like on the video right now. You know it makes sense. If you don't, then, like I always say, I will hunt you down and you will be getting the Kung Fu chop to the Adam's apple. You'll be finished, man. You'll be finished. You don't want that, so just like it. Anyway, next we move into a section that has now been renamed. It was formerly Wanker of the Week. I've put my own spin on it. I've only gone and called it Cockstroke. Jesus, nearly choked. Cockstroker of the Week. This is where we separate people who stroke cocks from people who don't. I don't know what I'm saying. You'll get the gist of it now. There's a top 5. Let's just rattle straight into it and see who's claimed the #1 spot this week.
Cockstroker of the Week.
Can't get used to this setup, man. This is Cockstroker, oh, spat, of the week. It's the time when we look at who, oh shit, nearly dropped the iPad. We look at basically who has been a cockstroker, stuff like that. I could be in it there for nearly dropping the Jose iPad. I have got a top 5 this week, and yes, it is heavily, well, it does heavily involve Manchester City. So if you're a City fan, you might want to skip this bit. Let's get cracked in. Top 5, coming in at number 5 is Silverback Event Crew. Who are they, Kev? I'm about to tell you, so chill your tits out. Silverback Event Crew were on Facebook, and they were assigned the task of putting together the celebration, the title celebration parade, pyrotechnics. That's what they call it. I think it's a fancy word for fireworks. And they said setting up pyrotechnics at the very top of the Etihad Stadium. If Manchester City win this weekend, it will go off with a bang due to the help of our Silverbacks. And all these dickheads carrying all these fireworks up onto the top of the Etihad. They thought they were going to win it. They didn't. And these probably had to get back up there, and City probably paid them, and they probably had to carry all the fireworks back down. Yay! Have a bit of that shit, man. Number 4, let's see. Number 4 is Danilo. That ugly looking twat who plays right or left back. I don't give a shit. He plays for City anyway, and after the derby, he come out and started spouting this shit, saying he wasn't impressed with United's style of play. 3-2, dickhead! Back off, 3-2, yeah? I was happy with it. That second half was sublime. It really was. Where are we now? Number 3. Number 3. Who could it be? Who could it be? Tell me, Kev. I'm gonna tell you, man. It's every single one of them fans at the end of the City United derby who, and this is the City fans, decided to cry. We're going to have to wait another week or so to win the league. Get a grip, man. But at least that still goes to show that Manchester United is the big attraction. And they just could not deal with the fact that we went there in their own backyard and stopped a title celebration. Get over it, dickheads. You're going to win it anyway. We just basically said, not on our watch. Not on our watch. Not happening. Number 2 is Pep Guardiola. And this, well, for getting sent off against Liverpool, sent to the stands because he spat his dummy out. again, yeah, he was sent to the stands, but it isn't for that. It's for the comments that he come out and said that Mino Raiola, this is Paul Pogba's agent, offered him Paul Pogba in January. What are we in now? April. So Pep Guardiola waited until the eve, yes, the eve of the derby, that's the day before, if you are a stupid twat, basically to come out and say, yeah, Mino Raiola offered me Paul Pogba in January, but money-wise, it wouldn't have made sense for us. Now, somebody's lying, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that fat twat Mino Raiola did offer him, because he's only in it for the cash. He's a right dickhead, isn't he? He probably did, but Pep Guardiola goes in at number 2 because he waited until the eve, you know, the night before, just to bring this story out, which was like 4 months ago. And it didn't happen anyway, and Pogba had the last laugh because he scored 2 and United beat you 3-2. So sit down, Guardiola, number 1. And this is an absolute corker. And thank you to Dave Birtwistle for sending this in. I always say, if you send something in and it gets into the top 5 or whatever it is, top 3, you get the credit. You get the credit, Birtwistle, for this one. It is ex-City legend Paul Lake. Now, apparently, if he didn't have a leg injury or something, he would have been better than Brian Robson. You know, skills like Pele. This is what the City fans tell me anyway. Paul Lake made the monumental fuck up of recording a halftime verdict. Now, don't get me wrong, at this point, City looked on fire. They should have been 4 or 5-0 up. Paul Lake's got a bit giddy and got on the camera. Let's run the clip and then I'll talk further. Run that shit! Where is it? There, now.
We've absolutely smashed United. I mean, Raheem Sterling, Gundogan, but they can't manage a post number 9. They've got no idea how to manage it. They can't deal with it. They can't cope with us. This could be 5 or 6. City are playing out of this world, and this is one of the most favourite derbies I've ever experienced. It's the nuts, mate.
This is one of the best derbies I've ever been to in my life. It's the nuts. I tell you what, Paul Lake, suck my nuts. Because Man United turned up for the second half and give you a footballing lesson in how not to be a normal City fan. I mean, this shit, if you're an old school City fan, you know that this shit can happen. So you don't say stuff like that. Paul Lake has just got totally carried away at half-time. That is the best, man. The nuts. It's the nuts. It's the best derby he's ever been to. I bet he didn't say that at the end of it when Pogba and the boys went over to the away fans and went, yeah! That, my friends, is cockstroker of the week. It's the first time ever it's been dominated by one club, and that this week has been Manchester City. Over and out.
Tell you what, mate, you're a cockstroker.
There you have it for another week. Cockstroker of the week is Pep Guardiola. And to be honest, it was probably Manchester City. It was heavily dominated by Manchester City. So I hope the United fans watching enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? On the Blues, just move on. There's nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Anyway, let's get into the last part of the show, which is your comments. This is where I take comments from the YouTube. You know, comments from Twitter, Facebook, sorry, excuse me, compose myself. Bit of gas, you know, yeah. Anyway, I take all them comments, sift through a few of them, just pick them out randomly and read them out. And if you get a mention, it's pretty much the biggest thing that could ever happen in your life. Or that's what people have told me in the past. So let's cracked in to your comments. Tea cakes. Here we go. It's the finale. It's the furlong, whatever you call it, the home run, the straight. It is your comments. It's a time when we look at what you shower of bastards have had to say. Could be about me. Will it be about me? What I will say, the comment section was awash with fans of all clubs, and especially Manchester City last week. Of course, Kev was going to get some shit off the Blue Noses. But, like I say, I'm a big guy, man. I can take it, yeah? You want that lick to the face? Whoosh. Anyway, first one coming from MCFC on YouTube. Basically just said, scruffy. I'm not even going to drop the C word in. I've never done it on VanCam. I don't intend on starting it now. But you get the gist of it. Sounds like Hunt. Change the H for a C. You've got Yeah, Scruffy CUNT. Now, this hurt me. I don't get that much shit on VanCam. So I'm down in the dumps, and this was sent before the derby. So I knew I had a bit of ammunition. I held back anyway. I waited until full time, and I thought, I'm striking back. I was going to lower myself and say, you know, don't be coming in the comment section and dissing your own mum like that. I thought, no, I need something good. So I waited until full time when we won 3-2 and just replied, ha ha, ha, ha ha, ha ha ha. And he replied to me and said something like, congratulations on finishing in second. But, you know, I think I won the battle. Jeff Wardrop, who is the Facebook legend, basically because he's always on the @Kev's VanCam. See, I'll just plug that on Facebook, and he's always like dropping links, sharing, inviting people to like the page. Fair play, Jefferson, lad. Fair play. Jeffrey, anyway, he said, great show, Kev. P-M-S-L, it means piss myself laughing. So he's obviously buzzing off it. Another person who was Brownwall, who said, I think the lads heard your war cry, Kev. Getting there, still buzzing now. Last week's video, I did the war cry. I basically said we were playing for pride, and I've got to say that second half, it was like they just went, Mourinho just went in and said, lads, watch this, it's VanCam. This lad, just listen to everything he says. Would explain a lot, wouldn't it? John Cox, you, my friend, are a total gentleman. He keeps offering me tickets, keep missing out on it, but we will get to a match one day, mate. He said, I reckon Mourinho must have played your, rally cry call at half-time, Kev. See, another one, I had loads of this shit, loads of people saying, Kev, the lads must have seen your rally cry at half-time. Either that or Sir Alex Ferguson, who was sat in the stands and at 2-0, had a face like thunder, went down and just turned on the hairdryer. Have a bit of that, you shower bastards. James Henry said, looks like your team talk worked, Kev. Top channel, top bloke. Keep up the good work. Another one man who's saying it, Jim McGill, said, how on earth do you not have more followers? Thanks for last week, Kev. I'm sharing for you. Come on, United. Make sure you share it. That's all I'm saying, yeah? We are getting to the end of the video now, and all you have to do is share it. CM23, who's always in the comment section. Don't know why I did it like that. Apologies there. Might edit it out. Might just keep it in for the pure crack of it. Said, how does Kev not have at least 50,000 subs? Ha 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 ha. Steve-O71, VanCam is on fire, Kev. Thank you very much. Where are we going now? Right. I think there's a lookalike. I can sense it. Magic Matic. Could be the guy. At captain. No, he's not the captain. Anyway, said, hashtag VanCam. Kev, you've been rumbled. Was this you after the derby win with a City scarf on it? Or is that a half and half scarf? Hashtag lookalike. You bastard! Don't ever suggest or even mention that I would wear that shit around my neck. It's that famous joke that I once made up, you know, what's 2 foot long and keeps a dick warm? A Manchester City scarf, yeah? It can apply to any club, you can take that and use it as your own, but are you cheeky bastard? Cheeky twastard! Twastard is a mix between a twat and a bastard, and that is what you are. This twat looks nothing like me. That's your typical Man City fan. Trendy moustache, probably got a Ben Sherman shirt on, and a pair of kicker boots to match. You cheeky bastard! A hat-trick of them. Down with that sort of thing, Matic. Johnny D, or Johnny Donahue, that's the one, 79, said, I don't know what to think about this, Kev. Also, how the fuck do you have 10,000 followers on Twitter and only 2,000 subscribers on YouTube? VanCam is a thing of beauty. Keep up the good work, Kev. Oh, that was to do with, it was to do with Fellaini Watch. He had copied me in with the news that Fellaini could be making a switch to our bitter Scouse knobhead rivals, Liverpool. And in at the end, who's that? Steve Dickhead. Dave Birtwhistle. He's in again. He's not done a lookalike for a long time. But he said left side, half-time face. This was at full-time of the City match. Right side, full-time face. Now, I think he's actually insinuating and suggesting that I look like sure it won't be the last time. That's one of the Chuckle brothers. It's Barry Bastard Chuckle, is it? I think I'm right. I'm right, and I'm not happy about it. Bastard, this is like I say, that Tash face, Barry Bastard, Chuckle face, bastard. It can't have it, Burt Whistle, I'm sorry. Thanks for all your input this week on VanCam as usual. And to everybody else, that was a shout out to Burt Whistle. But you cheeky bastard, look what you do to me. Man's gonna have a heart attack one day doing VanCam live, and yous lot will feel so ashamed because you'll have fuck all else to watch on a Friday. Listen, have a top weekend. I've had top fun doing this week, of course, because United won. I was dreading it, man. If they were to win the title last week against us, I was dreading VanCam. I'm probably even going to have a week off. Of course I wouldn't have. I know I need to be there for you guys, that's why. But anyway, listen, it's been fun as always. It's been great to react to the Manchester derby, because at half-time, I was a bit like Paul Lake, you know, it's the nuts. Well, the opposite, I mean, obviously thinking, this is a load of nuts. What kind of a saying is that, man? Get involved up here at Kevin Ashford 7. That's on Twitter and all that. Google Plus as well. Get on that shit. Bit of banter out there. I've got the hard hat. I've found it on the floor. It's West Brom this weekend. Wouldn't it be typical of United now to go into a home game against West Brom, who look like they're doomed, and drop points? That's what it's all part of being a United fan. Manchester United can seriously harm your health, your mental health, just everything. But I tell you what, it's days like that at the Etihad that just make it all worthwhile. And just remember what Paul Lake said, you know, this is the best derby he's ever been to. It's the nuts. Like I said earlier, Lakey lad, suck on my nuts. And for United against West Brom on Sunday at Old Trafford, it only leaves me to go and say, come on, United! Let's finish the season positively and maybe even get the FA Cup in the trophy cabinet. You know it makes sense. See you next week. Thanks a lot. Let's cut to me now singing, I said your love. Let's do it. I said your love.